For the functions g of x is equal to x cubed minus 2x plus 1 and h of x is equal to 3x minus 5, find g of x plus h of x. So we're saying this function plus this function. Well, we plug in the value of g of x, which we know to be x cubed minus 2x plus 1. And we're going to add that to h of x, which we've been told is 3x minus 5. And we're going to add these two polynomials together. We want to make sure that we pay attention to what's in front of the parentheses. There is no negative, so everything can drop out of the parentheses. And then we combine like terms. X cubed doesn't have anything like it. Negative 2x and positive 3x gives me a plus x. Positive 1 and negative 5 gives me a minus 4. And so we could say that, g of x plus h of x is equal to x cubed plus x minus 4. 21. If m of x is equal to 7, what is x? All right, so m of x is a fancy way of saying y. So if y is equal to 7, which it is right here, what is the value of x? Right there. X is equal to 2. Number 22, write the explicit and recursive formula. So the explicit formula starts with our arithmetic sequence formula. A sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. So we need to know our rate of change. We are subtracting 2. We are subtracting 2, so our rate of change is negative 2. And our first term is negative 3. So a sub n is equal to negative 3 plus n minus 1 times negative 2. Negative 2 times n is negative 2n. Negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. So a sub n is equal to negative 3 minus 2n plus 2. Well, we can simplify that just a little bit further. A sub n is equal to negative 2n minus 1. Recursive form. Recursive form starts with us identifying the t sub 1, which is equal to negative 3. And then we're just going to use the recursive form formula, which is t sub n is equal to t sub n minus 1. And we're going to add the common difference. Our common difference is negative 2, so we're adding a negative 2. Write the explicit and recursive form. Alright, so again, we want to know our common difference. 12 and 6, 18 and 24 is 6. So a sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d, where a sub n is equal to our first term, 12, plus n minus 1 times d, which is 6. Distribute, and a sub n is equal to 12 plus 6n minus 6. Combine like terms, so a sub n is equal to 6n plus 6. Our recursive formula, we want to state our first term, t sub 1 is equal to 12, where t sub n is equal to t sub n minus 1 plus our common difference. Number 24. Use the graph to answer the following questions. Well, it's beneficial, I think, to label up my x and y's. So x and y, we'll have my first x is 1. My y is 4. My second x is 2. My y is 8. My third x is 3. We should see a pattern, 4, 8, 12. Yes, it goes up to 12. So let's start answering some questions now that we've identified the ordered pairs. What's the domain and range of the sequence? Domain is all of our possible x values. So 1, 2, 3. Range, all of my possible y values, so 4, 8, 12. What is the explicit form of this sequence? So again, we're doing our a sub n is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d, where our rate of change is 4 and 4. So we have an a sub n is equal to a sub 1, which has got a value of 4, plus n minus 1 times 4. We will distribute. A sub n is equal to 4 plus 4n minus 4. 4 and negative 4 will cancel each other out. So a sub n is equal to 4n. What is the recursive form of this sequence? Recursive form has a t sub 1 value of 4, and our t sub n value is equal to t sub n minus 1 plus the common difference, 4. Find a sub 10. Well, I don't know about you, but if I use the recursive formula, I have the first term, which means I have to find the second term using the formula, find the third term using the formula, find the fourth term using the formula. Or we can just come back up to the explicit term, and we can say a sub 10 is equal to 4 times n, which we just said is 10. And so a sub 10 is equal to 40. Use the graph to answer the questions below. What is x when f of x is equal to 2? So when f of x is equal to 2, or a fancy way of saying that, it was y is equal to 2. We want to come up to 2, and we want to see what values we have for x. The x value is equal to 1. B, what is f of 4? So we're looking for when x has got a value of 4. We come over to 4. And we come up. I see a value here. I see a value here. So f of 4 is equal to 1 and 5. Is this graph a function or a relation? It's a relation. Not a function. Can't be a function because anytime we try to apply the vertical line test, we're going to end up with more than one intersecting point, and so it fails the vertical line test and is not a function. 26, if f of x is equal to 3 minus 10x and g of x is equal to 3x minus 1, find f of x minus g of x. So f of x is 3x minus 10x, 3 minus 10x minus g of x, 3x minus 1. So again, I want to look in front and see if there's any negatives. There's not in my first term, so everything can drop out. There is on my second binomial, so I need to distribute that negative to both terms. So negative 3x plus 1. Now we combine like terms. Negative 10x, negative 3x is negative 13x. 3 and 1 gives me positive 4. So f of x minus g of x is equal to negative 13x plus 4. F of x plus g of x. So this time we're going to have 3 minus 10x getting added to 3x minus 1. And again, we look in front of the parentheses and realize there are no negatives. So we can get rid of the parentheses. 3 minus 10x plus 3x minus 1. Combine your like terms. Negative 10x and 3x gives me a negative 7x. 3 minus 1 is plus 2. So f of x plus g of x is equal to negative 7x plus 2. 28. F of x times g of x. So we have f of x value is 3 minus 10x. And we're going to multiply that by a g of x value, which is 3x minus 1. Now, hopefully you remember, in order to solve this type of problem, you need to FOIL. So first, 3 times 3x is 9x. Outer, 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Inner, negative 10x and 3x, well, that's negative 30x squared. And last, negative 10x and negative 1 gives me a positive 10x. And now we combine our like terms. So we'll have 9x, oh, sorry, we have x squared. We have a negative 30x squared. A 9x and a 10x gives me a plus 19x minus 3. So f of x times g of x is equal to negative 30x squared plus 19x minus 3.